Hello there, I'm Dave Myers, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar. So begins the first verse of the old hymn that was written back in 1857. This hymn speaks of these three kings and the gifts they brought to Jesus. I sang this Christmas tune as a boy, only to find later that the statement in this first verse is not supported in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that there were three kings. It just lists three gifts. So the supposition is that there were three kings or magi. Today's scripture, Matthew 2, verse 11, says this in reference to the Magi. And when they had come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented gifts to him, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now there are several misconceptions about these Magi. First, we see that no number of men is mentioned. In fact, some Eastern Christian traditions insist that there were 12. Second, they never came to a manger to worship Christ. The scripture says they came to the house, not the stable, sometime after Jesus was born. So the popular Christmas scene with the manger, the shepherds, the sheep, the camels, the three kings with their gifts is simply a false misrepresentation of the facts. These Magi went to the house, not the stable. And everything about them has been fabricated over the centuries. The first document that seems to mention their names was apparently written nearly 500 years after the event, and a second one written more than 700 years after the visit to Christ. So what do we reliably know about these men? 1, that they were men of great wisdom who caused a great stir when their huge caravan arrived in Jerusalem. The Greek word used to identify these men, magus, was a descriptor that we can safely say meant wise men. 2, they were men of great wealth, as displayed by the rare and expensive gifts that they brought to Jesus. And 3, they were led directly to a place, the place that Jesus was living, by a star, which we know had to be an angel, not a celestial body. A star does not, quote, stand over the place where he was, end quote, but an angel could and did. And 4, they were led there because they wanted to worship this one who was born King of the Jews. So they must have received a great deal more information than was revealed here in the scripture. For how would they know that this child was born King of the Jews and they need to go to Jerusalem for that information? Why would they care? Why would they worship him? Why would they bring him gifts unless they were told much more than is revealed here? So to summarize, there is much God has not chosen to preserve about this fascinating encounter, including the Magi's names, the number of the men, the countries of origin, etc. But suffice it to say that we, like these wise men, should come to both recognize and worship our King and Master, Jesus the Christ.
Verse by Verse is a companion podcast to the Daily Bible Verse blog, which you can find on the Life, Hope, and Truth Learning Center. Check out the show notes for more.